Hello everybody, it's Tyler from CaliCriticReviews here, and I welcome you guys to Monday on the Unknown Underdogs. And since we're celebrating the release of Steve Carell's newest film, Crazy Stupid Love, which releases this Friday, it is Steve Carell week, so we're all going to review a movie that stars Steve Carell, of course. So the one I decided to choose is one that was pretty important to his acting career. It was during when The Office was on, but he was always known for being typecasted as the eccentric guy. But there was one movie that really opened up his acting range, and it brought us to a whole new dimension, and that is Little Miss Sunshine, which released back in, let me search down real quick, 2006. Set in Albuquerque, New Mexico before Heisenberg took over, Little Miss Sunshine stars a great ensemble cast as the Hoover family, which is a very dysfunctional family living in the suburbs of Albuquerque, in which everything just changes for them when their daughter Olive, played by Abigail Breslin, ends up getting chosen for the Little Miss Sunshine beauty pageant, which is going to happen in California. However, they can't afford to fly, so they have to take the yellow Volkswagen bus and drive all the way from New Mexico to California, and what ensues is a very oddball family but very funny field trip, well actually not field trip, road trip, to get there. Now, as I told you, the main reason why I chose this movie is because of how it really brought us to a whole new side of Steve Carell, because he plays a much darker character in this film. However, he isn't really the main character because everyone is kind of a supporting character on their own. There really is no true lead in this film because they're all having their own equal amount of material to go off of. The whole cast is phenomenal in this film. There's a very electric chemistry between all the actors on screen, but if I had to choose my favorites, I definitely have to say that Alan Arkin and Abigail Breslin were definitely the best. However, Steve Carell managed to really dive into this dark character and nail down all of his troubled emotions, because his character supposedly attempted suicide before, so that already puts you on the dark edge of what he's going through in the film. And while he does have his funny moments, it's never that really laugh-out-loud eccentric stuff you see from The Office. And I always like to see that from a comedian, because we don't really get to see that many comedians today work in serious territory, and Steve Carell just does a perfect job with the character. The script for this movie is filled with a lot of great one-liners, especially off of sarcasm between several of the characters, and Steve Carell has a great scene involved in sarcasm with Alan Arkin in this film too. The whole cast just takes this already fantastic script, and they take it together, all the twists, turns, and very funny moments in it, in which this is a dark comedy, because there are some moments that will like, oh, you, what? And there are those moments when it gets dark sometimes, but it manages to mix together the dark comedy and the very witty comedy at the same time. Little Miss Sunshine is not only one of my favorite Steve Carell movies, but also one of my favorite movies of all time. I definitely think you should check this out. If you haven't checked out or even heard of Little Miss Sunshine yet, you definitely have to see it. It's always going to be one of my favorite movies, especially for the very oddball, zany comedy that ensues between this fantastic cast. So I thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for Tuesday for yet another review from us, as we will continue Steve Carell week in anticipation for the release of Crazy Stupid Love that releases Friday. Goodbye, everyone.